Ladies and gentlemen, real estate investing is simple. All right. I mean, if you're out there trying to find distressed properties, the process, the business model around real estate investing and real estate wholesaling and flipping is a very simple business model, right? You find distressed properties and you have an exit strategy for it, right? Very, very simple. It's real estate investors that are hard. It's us that make our job so hard. Whether it's the millions of pieces of advice that we hear on a daily basis if you're on social media, whether it's the internal battles that you have in your head about debating whether what you're doing is actually working or if you're going on the right direction or just not having the clarity that you wish you would have, which is what we are here to talk about today, which is the mindset challenges that you have in those beginning stages of real estate investing, not just real estate investing, but entrepreneurship in general. I know early on in my journey, there was a lot of times where I had to battle these difficult negative mindsets to that I had to overcome. And I wrote down four main topics that we're going to be talking about today, which is the scarcity mindset, competition and how to deal with competition, income slash deal sizes, and then differentiating yourself from the people that have succeeded. So those are the four things that we're going to be talking about today and going through them and just trying to understand them and understanding how to overcome them and to how to really put reality into these conversations and to walk out of these conversations in your head with a much more clear path to where you want to go and where you want to succeed. But this is the Real Tales podcast, guys. I believe this is episode 15, if I'm not mistaken, of the Real Tales podcast. We've been going on for a couple of months, so we've been having a lot of love recently. So I really do appreciate the love that you guys are showing to this podcast, and thank you guys for watching, truly. So without further ado, let's get started. So we have this scarcity mindset. Now, this scarcity mindset manifests in a lot of ways, in a lot of places in our life, really. But if we were to niche this down to just real estate, you hear things like, oh, there's just no deals out there. I haven't seen a deal like that in years. They don't exist anymore. Finding money for deals is hard. Contractors just don't want to work anymore. You get where I'm trying to go. It's the lack of resources that you're manifesting into the world just through your head and through your mindset, right? And here's a statistic that I heard. I forget who told me this, but it's a statistic that I heard, and it'll really help you put into perspective, the level of abundance that is out there in our industry. There are, I believe there are, and correct me if I'm wrong, whoever is watching this that told me this advice, 'cause I think he probably will watch this, but there are 10 million homes in America that are vacant, right? 10 million homes that are vacant in America. That number alone should open your eyes to how abundant there are, the amount of deals there are just in our country in general, right? And 6 to 10% of the real estate marketplace is in distress. So let's just take the vacant homes for example. Let's just say there are 10 million vacant homes, right? 6 to 10%. That means there are 600,000 to a million vacant homes that are quote unquote in distress, right? And then let's take the entire real estate market in general. The entire real estate market is, I don't know how many homes. I mean, tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of homes in the entire United States. 6 to 10% are in distress. Now let's look at the largest home buyers, real estate companies in the world, right? You can look at the hedge funds, you can look at the privately owned companies, all of them. Even the hedge funds, they're buying like, I don't know, they're buying the homes that they're buying per year in the tens of thousands, right? And I'm talking about like only a couple of the biggest hedge funds, and that's a seasonal period in which they buy like that. The there's still 900,000 homes available for the rest of us to get. So the point I'm trying to get at is that there is an abundance of deals out there in the US for us to go out and get. There is an abundance. And the people that just don't believe that there are the people that are not going to get them. I mean, you truly are what you think about and what you put out there into the world. If you believe that there are no houses out there that are good deals for you to buy to wholesale or to fix and flip or to buy and hold, then there's truly no deals for you to go out there and do anything with. Because if you had that mindset, why would you put the effort into going to do that, to go out and hunt and find the good deals? If you, in your heart of hearts, don't believe that there's actually a point in doing it because there's no good deals. So the fact of the matter is, statistically, right, just talking numbers wise, there are a plethora, a huge abundance of opportunities to hunt and find and add value to someone's life with through real estate investing. It's just you got to believe it's out there and you got to go and get it. And you have the numbers to back you up, right? The numbers lean towards the abundance, right? They don't lead towards the scarcity. I mean, the numbers lead towards the fact that there are so many houses out there that you could have a hundred competitors. You can have 1,000 competitors in your market, and there's still going to be deals out there. I promise you. Number two, speaking about competitors, our second topic is going to be competition. Competition is a thing that people are. I feel like it's the most in your face mindset hurdle, just because you see them pretty much on a daily basis when you're in the field, right? You see them posting on social media. You see the deals that they have out there. You see all the things that they're doing, right? As business owners, we tend to keep an eye on our competition, right? We're very competitive people. It's just how our nature is. And what we tend to do is we tend to make the beast be feel larger than they actually are, and that is definitely true when it comes to competition. I noticed from a wholesaling and fix and flip perspective, I can share with you some statistics. So, if somebody is cold calling for leads, let's say they're just getting started, right? They're just getting started. They start cold calling. Let's say they start doing direct mail. They start marketing towards distressed homeowners. You have two people. They both get started. They both get started in the same exact marketing channels, everything, and then they just get started and go. All right. In our industry, we have I feel like a 90% dropout rate of people that leave the industry within the first year. So let's just say you have 1,000 people that get started in your market today to start wholesaling and to start hunting for deals. Only about 100 of them are going to survive. The rest of the 900 are gone. They're gonna move on to another industry because they realize that, oh yeah, this isn't just a get rich quick scheme like what social media and YouTube portrays this to be. This actually takes a lot of hard work. It's a simple business, but it takes a lot of hard work, and they realize that very very quickly, and they decide that they want to do something easy. They want to take the easy path, and what they perceive an easy path to be is another business. So they go and they start day trading or drop shipping or whatever the heck they do, and that whole mindset of jumping from one business to another is a conversation for another day. But that's just not a that. I mean, those people are not they are not in tune with success. They're not thinking in a way that successful people think, because a successful person in their stays in their lane for as long as possible, right? It's what Napoleon Hill says in his famous book Think and Grow Rich, right? His chapter on decisions. It's the wealthy make their decisions fast and take a very long time to change them. So they think fast, they decide fast, and they change very, very slowly. There's a story about Henry Ford when he made his first car, and he made the Model T, I believe, and the Model T was starting to get um, out of style, right? Other companies were trying to catch up to it. Ford internally was coming up with better models for cars, But Henry Ford stayed true to the Model T. Why? Because it worked, and it was the best selling car at the time, and he didn't want to change the model. So that was it. And because of that, Ford is now one of the most, or I think the most successful car company in America, by that same logic of deciding fast and changing very, very, very slowly, in year or decade increments, right? That's all I'm going to talk about on that topic, right? But as far as competition goes, that's how your competition thinks, really. I mean, 90% of them, 90% of them are here for an easy time, not a long time, right? They wanna make their quick money, and then they want to go. The true entrepreneurs, the truly successful people, they go through the muck, they go through the dirt, they go through the grind, because every business has its own version of muck and grind and grit that you have to go through, and they're gonna go through that, and they're going to come out, a year, 2, 3 later, a very, very successful entrepreneur. Why? Because they stuck with it. So that is what I'd say about competition as far as a lot of the beginners. Now, let's just say your actual competition that stays. Let's say the actual 10% that stays in the business, right? What about them, right? What if you're worried about them? Well, those 10% that do stay, they a lot of the people. Let's say, for example, let's go back to the example of cold calling. The people that cold call, or people that generate leads, let's say they get a lead in their system, and they call it for the very first time. The amount of people that stop following up with the seller after, I think, the first or second follow up is 80%. Guys, let me say that again. The amount of people that stop following up with the seller after the first or second follow up is 80%. So let's just take those 100 people that we were talking about, right? The 100 people that you're scared of. You only got to worry about 20 of them, and you're one of them. So really 19. So just think about that, right? You had this huge threat. You had this thought that you had this huge threat of 1,000 people competing for your deals, competing for the same business and the same market share that you're trying to capture. But in reality, only 19 other people are in are true competitors, right? And if you're in a marketplace where you have, for example, in my market, where you have over 500,000 people in your market, let there be 20 people that compete. Let it happen. You know, that's very healthy competition. So competition is not as nearly as big of a threat as we think it is, right? I mean, we personify it to be this huge dragon that is 1,000 people big, or 10,000 people big, whatever it is your industry is. But at the end of the day, it only comes down to just a small fraction, a small fraction of what our competition, of what true competition really is, right? And then let's go deeper with this again. Let's say those 19 other people are are your true competition. They're out there. They're hunting deals. They're cutthroat killers. They're out there to take your business, take your deals, and leave you out to dry. Let's have a change of mindset here. Let's just imagine that these 19 other people want the same thing that we want, which is deals, which is to grow their business. And so do you. So, although you guys are competing and you guys are tough competitors with each other, you guys at the end of the day want the same thing. So, let me pose this question here. Do you think it would be in the best interest of the competitors in general to collaborate instead of compete? Because think about it. If you are 20 out of if you're in a group of 20 people chosen out of 1,000 people that are the real successful, the real go-getter entrepreneurs in your market, right? And these are just figurative numbers. I mean, you can change this to whatever size your market is. I'm just giving a fake example. Well, let's just say that small group that are actually proactive in the market decided that, hey, let's be friends. Let's compete. We're definitely going to compete. We're definitely going to go after the same deals. But what if I sent you a deal that I couldn't sell? What if you sent me a deal that you couldn't sell? Right? Let's talk about wholesaling for a second. What if I have this deal that I just can't convert? Can you help me? Hey, I don't understand subject twos. Can you help me understand what subject twos are? I've been hearing about this novation thing. I don't, but I just don't really understand how to implement it into my business. Do you know anything about this? Having having it be a community instead of a battleground would benefit the group in so many ways that your competition would be absolutely stupid to not want to collaborate with you. And I can tell you just from personal experience that true competitors, they want to collaborate. They want to do deals together, right? So now your pool of competition, that 20 people are now all collaborators with you, right? We're taking the word competition out and we're putting collaboration in its place. They're collaborating with you now. And that's when you can see some massive growth within your business, within your brand, within your personal brand. And then that's when things that's when you have the wind blowing behind your sail, right? Because that I mean that is so much of a more powerful stance and um, frame to have, instead of believing that everybody around you is a competitor and they're out to just take from you. If you come in with a giving attitude and a giving mentality to your other competition, you're going to give and get back. So that's what I have to say about competition. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is deal sizes. I'll tell you a story about me in relationship to deal sizes. So when I first got started, mind you, in Toledo, you don't get really big assignment fees, right? And I started off wholesaling, so you didn't really get really big assignment fees. I think for a year, I couldn't crack a $10,000 assignment fee, right? Mind you, I was just beginning, but I couldn't crack a $10,000 assignment fee. And so when it wasn't until I had a change in mindset and a change in clarity and direction of where I wanted to go, that I actually started seeing really big assignment fees. And that same and then a month later, after having this realization, I closed a $23,000 assignment fee. It was my first assignment fee over 10 grand. And this realization is this, guys. We can make as much money as we want for such a long time. You know, when you first get started in business, um, you have this optimism when you walk in, right? That, oh, you can, this is a get rich quick scheme, almost, right? Like you can go in here and you can just make as much money as you want. No one here is really as good as me, or I'm the new guy on the block, so and so, right? But then you get started. You actually just get punched in the face a little bit, right? By the business. And you start to realize just how hard the business is. And so because of that, you start to really doubt the amount of income you can truly make in this business. And then how this happened was I actually had to I brought on somebody to start working with me in my business. And I knew that to support both of our goals, I had to step up and really push the amount of the size of our deals, or else we wouldn't be benefiting. I wouldn't be benefiting him, and it would just not be a good environment to work in, right? So I had to step up and just and if for not just myself, but for a company, for my company, to really make it, to really show that this works. The next month, I closed a $23,000 assignment fee. You find what you're looking for, guys. you will find what you're looking for. If you're looking for $5,000 deals or $2,000 deals, you will find them. If you're looking for $30,000 deals, you will find them. I promise you, you will find them. You just gotta have your antennas up, and you will find them. And that sounds cheesy. That sounds very head in the clouds. But I'll challenge you to this. If you're someone that's going through that same issue right now, right, that you want to improve your deal size. Let's say you want to get from making $7,000 a deal to $15,000 a deal. I challenge you to this. Stop accepting anything less than 15 grand. Just stop. If it's 10 grand, no, I don't want to do it. If it's 12 grand, I don't want to do it. If it's 5 grand, hell no. I'll only do a deal that I can make 15 grand on. And watch what happens. Now, you probably have to change up a lot that you do within your business as far as exit strategies to hit that. That'll probably happen. But the byproduct of that is that you will hit 15 grand per deal consistently. I promise you. It'll happen. Try it out. Try it out for 30 days and see what happens. You find what you're looking for, guys. You find what you're looking for. Once you start putting your antennas up towards higher deal sizes, you will find them. And the last thing that I have written down here, and this is something that I've recently been battling with, and consistently, I think still to this day battle with, that I think about, is thinking that we're different than the ones that are successful. Right? Let's say you're on social media and you see these influencers, talking about their business, showing their success, showing their what they were able to do in a certain amount of time. And you think to yourself, wow, that is incredible, right? And not even from a perspective of, jealousy or envy or anything like that. Just truly recognizing that is a very impressive feat. And then you see where you're at, and you feel like there's so much that you're not doing to get to where you want to be, or that you're doing the same things that they're doing, but you're just not seeing the results. Or you start putting these thoughts into your head as to why you can't be the image of success that you're seeing. And what I want to say to that is that you are no different than the people that you see as successful. This image of success, the people that you see as the image of success for you, you are no different than them. They went through the same life. They probably lived in a similar neighborhood to you, went to a similar school as you, had the same friends as you, had probably the same parents as you, and just grew up and just made different decisions and thought in a different way. And that compounded over 5 years, 10 years, really will make a huge difference in a person. And so the path to success is out there. And I talked about this in another podcast about mentorship and about coaching. Mentorship and coaching is such a powerful tool, guys. I mean, it is the cheat code, because you are taking somebody that is successful, right? Assuming you're not getting scammed by some fake guru out there, right? Which I hopefully that doesn't happen to you guys. But let's say you go through and start getting mentorship and coaching by a real mentor, somebody that's actually in the business and very, very successful in it. They're the image of success, right? They've done the thing. They've did it. And now they're telling you exactly what they did to get to where they are. Wouldn't you pay an arm and a leg for that? I would. I have. You know what I mean? So It's the roadmap is out there to be the person that you want to be, whether that be in business, whether that be in fitness. If you want to get into the shape of your life, you want a six pack, you want huge arms, or you want a slim waist, whatever your goal is with fitness. There's people out there that'll tell you how to do it. They'll tell you everything. They'll tell you your meal plan. They'll tell you how much times you have to go to the gym. They'll tell you how much you have to sleep. They'll tell you when to eat. They'll tell you everything, right? They'll tell you all the necessary details to to get to where you want to be. So then let me ask you: you have all this mental capacity in your head that's being taken up by comparing yourself to somebody that is the quote unquote image of success. Wouldn't that mental real estate be better spent trying to find the blueprint? The answer is yes. Your mental real estate is much better spent recognizing that there is success in your industry and being grateful for it, and taking that energy, taking that fire in your belly, that motivation, that drive to succeed, and finding the plan to go and do it. Right? Alex Hormozy had this video when where he talks about how to win, and the formula is learn, do, become. Learn, do the thing, and you shall become the byproduct, which is a winner or a successful real estate entrepreneur, or a fit person. It's not do, learn, become, or it's not do, become, learn. Right? A lot of people skip the learn part. They don't want to learn. They just want to go and do. Right? I'm a very visionary person, so I fall victim to this when I first got started. I was so just wanting to just go and get started. I didn't care about what was in front of me. I'll run through a brick wall. Let me just go and do the thing. Right? And that's a beautiful thing to have. That's a beautiful feeling to have and to bring out into the world. Right? But you got to learn first. Right? You want to have the paved road for you first. That way, when you run, right? You don't have all these obstacles in your way. You don't have all these things in the way that are slowing you down, and things you got to take 2 steps back for and 4 steps back for, just to continue going, right? Because those things happen, right? But if you have a blueprint for success and you have that drive in you, you'll make so much money you'll question the reason why you keep making it. I promise you. Couple that with a collaboration mindset instead of a competition mindset. Combine that with not accepting anything less than what you deserve as far as an income perspective, and actually truly internalizing and believing that, coupled with an abundance mindset, that the fact that there are so many opportunities out there, you could have 10 versions of yourself competing and you still wouldn't be able to touch the surface of the abundance that is out there in the world. And there is no reason there there is no reason why you will not be successful. It will not make sense that you don't become successful. If you don't become successful and you follow those 4 steps, it doesn't make sense. You are and you are, I mean, I don't know, God you must have done something to God. and and you're just in your predicament right now, right? But I'll tell you this: God loves you, right? And if you have these 4 things that you truly internalize and truly believe, I promise you there is no reason why success isn't yours for the taking. So that's what I have for today's video, guys. Um, Thank you so much for watching. If you have any other topics you guys want to talk about, put them in the comments. Reach out to me directly. I'm always interactive with the people that watch and comment and like. And yeah, guys, again, we talked about the power of abundance, collaboration over competition, envisioning what you deserve in your head and internalizing that, and not going for anything less, and the realization that you are no different than the ones that have succeeded in your same field. Guys, this is the Real Tales podcast. See you next week.